Hey guys, I'm Anarchy Nerds, and I was gonna wait till Halloween to talk about this because this is something that doesn't get discussed enough. The movie Don't Look Under the Bed, the Disney original movie. But then I found out there's a whole bunch of controversy around that when it came out, so we're gonna get into that. But then, so I was gonna wait till Halloween. They announced Under Wraps 2 at D23, so we're gonna have to talk about that. But then so I was gonna wait till Halloween, and then I realized the rabbit hole of weird Disney Channel original movies that I totally forgot about until recently, and I'm like, oh my god, these were like a huge deal. I mean, I don't know exactly how we're going to talk about these, but we're going to do a little rundown. I'm Abby with More City Nerds. Hi to new subscribers. This is something new. But yeah, let's talk about this really quick. I have a bunch of stuff I have to finish, but yeah, no, I'm excited. Make sure to check out the channel. We got a bunch of new stuff up. Can we talk about Disney Channel original movies? Now, at one point, we stopped paying for Disney Channel, so I'm assuming that's why, like, I had a cutoff point of, like, around 2001-ish, but can we just talk about some of these really quick, and then we'll get to the gem of them all? So, at first, I was going to put these into categories of terrible and awesome in my memory, like how I remember them. We're going to leave Halloween Town out, because Halloween Town's a classic that we all love. Until I realized these are all kind of awful. So we're just gonna like talk about them and until we get to a couple that I actually think are decent. While a movie I forgot existed until the other day, Double Teamed, which is a terrible basketball movie. It's like something about and I'm not gonna look anything up. We're just gonna talk like I'm remembering these. It's something about twins playing basketball, and it's not good because I played basketball. And I remember being like, this is terrible, but my cousins were obsessed with it. Some strange, weird concept like that. Then, there was another basketball movie. Do you guys remember that Luck of the Irish, where that kid was turning into that horrifying looking leprechaun? That existed. Because these are all, half of these I thought I made up in my head. But I'm like, oh my god, no, I didn't. They exist. I didn't know that they had already had an Under Wraps trailer out for a month, and that they just were like, they had a little announcement at D3, D3, at D23. Let's add, this one has a star next to it, so this was one I remember like really liking, but now looking back, I'm like, oh my god, it was horrifying. Do you guys remember the 13th year, where he's turning into a mermaid? Like his mermaid mom like drops him off and disappears, but then he's turning into a horrifying fish boy. It's like it's like grotesque looking. Like I don't remember it looking that way, but looking at the photos after remembering this strange movie, I was like, oh my god, this is horrifying. And it's just a boy turning into a mermaid once he turns 13. Oh my god, another jam, Brink, which was like some type of inline skating extreme sports movie, which I remember was supposed to be really, really cool. And then there was Alley Cat Strike, which was like some type of trying to make bowling cool, but it wasn't cool. Then people really loved Xenon, and I liked Xenon just fine, but it was like a big deal. But I remember that one wasn't one of my favesies. Another one that is technically a Disney Channel original movie is Cadet Kelly. But I'm like, that's kind of a crazy thing that I remember that being a lot bigger. So I'm like, that's wild. I remember even as a kid thinking Smart House was creepy and weird. Do you guys remember Smart House? And Tiffany texted me about that one. She's like, the robot house. I'm like, yeah. So my sister's favorite was Eddie's $1 million cook-off or whatever. I don't know. That one was like he won $1 million at a cook-off, or he wanted to bake instead of playing football or something along those lines. And so, but then he wins $1 million baking, so then his family's not mad at him. Something like that. And then Smart House, where the house was smart and was talking to them, and then started that's a story. Some of these, when you look back on them, are really disturbing. I'm not counting in like who's the secret agent? Secret Jet Jackson or something. He had a movie. I'm not counting like the Even Stevens movie. I'm not counting those ones in. Oh, this one I totally forgot, and I called it right when she said it. She was like the surfer in the snow, and I'm like, Johnny Tsunami. It's not Johnny Tsunami. It's Tommy Tsunami. Remember, he moves from like Hawaii to like Colorado, and he ends up loving snowboarding even though he doesn't have surfing anymore. And okay, fun little story. Up and Away, I vaguely remember, which was just like what's that terrible one that actually did come out in theaters? Superhero High or something, whatever. This one was weird. Quince, where somebody has like 5 babies or something. This was where I started hitting my cutoff point. But Under Wraps was a total jam. Under Wraps was a great one, and I think that was like the first one they did, and maybe that's why they're doing a sequel to it. But either way, I'm gonna watch Under Wraps too, and I'm stoked about it. Now we need to talk about something, okay? Something that's still, there are very few things, you know, those things that stick in your brain that scare you the rest of your life, no matter what, like from when you were a kid. One of those things is from Don't Look Under the Bed, which is a Disney Channel original movie, and it's absolutely horrifying. The boogeyman is horrifying looking. It's all practical. And when, what's his name? Oh my God, how am I forgetting his name right now? No, Larry. When Larry starts turning into a boogeyman, it's horrifying. And then it's like, how funny is it that they were being like gender pronoun appropriate? She says the boogie person or whatever. Oh my God. But there is some horrifying imagery in that. The other things that still scare me, the wolf from the Neverending Story. That is terrifying. And I'll put pictures of all these things up, even though I don't want to. And Badge from Are You Afraid of the Dark? Which is, if you remember Are You Afraid of the Dark, that's a whole other thing that I'll talk about, but is a horrifying rat man that like is summoned when a pipe is played. I don't know, but it's horrifying. Look, I can remember that image in my brain, but this boogeyman scares to this day. This is like what I'm afraid of. It's scary. I do not like it. But Don't Look Under the Bed is like, is it a Disney Channel original movie? Yes. Is it like a good concept and scary though? Yes. And it took forever. I couldn't get Don't Look Under the Bed anywhere until somebody uploaded it in like 3 parts to YouTube. And it's one of those things that you think you made up in your head, but you didn't. And and then I found out there was so much controversy around it. And I was like, why was there all this? Like I was Googling Don't Look Under the Bed because I kept trying to find it. And this came out in like 1999, something like that. Yeah, this came out in 1999, and there was a huge controversy, and this just goes to show you, like, are you serious? Like, wow, about a black boy kissing a white girl, because they're kids, you know, but I'm like, oh my God, and there was enough controversy for me to find it in 2022 online, and I was like, oh my God, people were, like, writing petitions and stuff, and Disney was like, shove it. Oh my God, no! That's not it at all. There was a controversy, yeah, and that was the thing, and people had a problem with it. But the director came out and said that Disney was concerned about it, and then he fought for it to stay in the movie. Good for him. Good on you. What's this guy's name? Something Johnson. Good for you. Also, apparently, this movie did catch flack for being so horrifying, and he wanted it to be scarier. It's pretty scary. It's pretty terrifying. I'm going to put some imagery up here from this movie, and you're going to be like, oh my God, I remember that. It terrified the shit out of me. But yeah, it says here, when I was looking for this, it did pop up more than once where it was like parents were pissed, this, that, and the other thing. But this article from Entertainment says the role of Francis's friend Larry was not written as a black character, and when a black actor was cast, Johnson says Disney posed a question: what are we going to do about the kiss at the end? Disney was concerned about having a black boy kiss a white girl. They asked me to do it a couple of different ways, including not really at all, and I fought for it. Eventually, Johnson says Disney stepped up. The way it is in the film is exactly the way I had intended to do it. But it is super interesting to find out that they thought it was horrifying and they thought it was scary. Like I said, I didn't look barely anything up about none of this. I watch Don't Look Under the Bed every year, like I said, because it genuinely scares me, and go back and watch it. Yeah, it's on Disney Plus, and do you want to know what? For a Disney Channel original movie, it is a 6.7 out of 10 on IMDb, but I don't really trust IMDb, but still, that says something. Oh my God, in this one, Can of Worms. Can of Worms had a really horrifying looking alien that was supposed to be nice that I remember not liking as a child. Can of Worms was weird. That was like a boy had a dog that could talk. This is what but aliens show up. Something strange. I don't know. But go look up all these Disney Channel original movies and tell me one that I'm not remembering down below in the comments, and if that one scared the shit out of you as a small child. This is what we need a sequel to, though. I just wanted to remind you guys of all the insane Disney Channel original movies there are. There's probably more that I'm not remembering, and if you remember some, put them down in the comments. Because like I said, I took a break just to mindlessly talk about this because I was like, Under Wraps 2? What? I want to watch that. So I'm excited for it. And I remember when that was a big thing. It was like a big deal. But at one point, we stopped paying for Disney Channel. The video was just for fun while I edit my other ones, and I'm still going to react to more stuff. I'm so grateful for all the new subscribers and all the commenting. I love it, and I try to keep up with it. I hate YouTube Studio so much on my phone because it doesn't tell me where I'm at or like who I'm responding. Like if there's a thread, I can only see the last comment. So then I'm like, what, this makes no sense, when I actually go onto the app, I hate it. But yeah, I'm on OF, I'm on Instagram, I'm on all the stuff that's down below. Don't look under the bed. You remember it. I mean, I'll watch the Under Wraps sequel, but we need a sequel to Don't Look Under the Bed. That's what we need. And bring that director back and make it, do it. Do it, Disney. You won't.